Hello everyone, welcome back. Today we're going to do a mini flow again. I think today is going to be a little bit shorter. I've cleared some space here in my backyard again. The leaves have fallen. Most of my things are away, but I thought it's still a really nice day, so all I did was move the leaves away to create a space. You can create a space pretty much anywhere. So I have my blocks, but I don't think I'm going to need them for my mini flow. However, if you want to use them in your start Shavasana or your finish pose, you can have them handy. So let's start in Shavasana. Come to lie down on your back. And as you start to get comfortable in your lying position, decide if your legs are more comfortable long and extended, or if bent at the knees is something that is more comfortable for you at this moment. At the beginning of our practice, we always want to take a few moments just to settle in, just to kind of bring ourselves to this space, to this practice, and just to see how we feel. Is it a day that we're stressed? Is it a day that we're feeling relaxed? Just taking a moment or two here to settle in. See if you can relax your feet, your legs, your hips, your belly muscles. Open up the front side of the body, open up the chest, open up the collarbone, relax the shoulders down towards the floor. Extend the arms to a comfortable space, palms are turned up. Try to release the tension in your neck. So chin is just slightly tucked in to keep the back of the neck in that neutral position. Soften the muscles in your face. And then I invite you to close your eyes. If that's uncomfortable, at least soften the gaze, so that you can tune into your breath, tune into that internal movement which shows externally as we take that breath in, the front side of the body expands, and as you exhale, feel how you sink towards the floor. The slow, small movement of your cycle of breath, inhaling and exhaling. Not judging how fast it is, how slow it is. Just observing it. Feel the rise. Feel the fall. And sometimes this few minutes at the beginning of your practice really helps just to relax and settle in. And many times this is all we need to help move throughout the day. So take a few more cycles here. Just inhaling and exhaling. One more full cycle. And then start to invite those little movements into your fingers and toes. Ankles. Maybe softening the knees, bringing your feet to the floor, bending at the knees. And just softening the legs a little bit. Taking a little bit of movement, not too drastic, nothing too harsh. And then when you're ready, draw the knees up into the chest. And again, a gentle tuck. You don't have to go too tight. Whatever movement is going to feel nice on your back. Maybe the space that you are in is not super soft and that little roll may not feel comfortable. So again, choosing what works for you. And then we'll bring the knees to stillness and shoot the legs up to the sky. And we'll just take some movement in the ankles. So you can go with some circles. Usually when I get into my ankles, there's always some snap, crackle, and popping because my ankles are always tight. If you're making circles, change directions. And just notice how that feels. You're just getting a little bit of movement, maybe in the toes as well. And here you will even notice what is going on the backside of your legs. You're going to feel your hamstrings. You might even notice right away how tight they are or how loose they are. We're just looking for a little bit of movement. And then draw the knees back into the chest. And bring yourself up into your sit position, either using your rock and roll version or I think that's all we're going to use is our rock and roll up to a sit. And once again, extend those legs long. And see if you can take the curve out of your spine. How can you sit nice and tall? Do you need a little bit of a bend in those knees? And that's fine. We're just trying to get that torso nice and long. And we'll just do a very gentle forward fold here. So take an inhale to draw those belly muscles in. Have the toes flexed up to the sky. And as you exhale, just hinge forward slightly from the hip. Just to feel the backs of the legs. Just to notice. Take the inhale to release. Sit back up straight. And then exhale, fold one more time. And then release out of that, bend at the knees. Just give those legs a little bit of a windshield wiper movement. Swing the knees side to side. And then swing your feet around to get yourself to a tabletop. And from our tabletop, let's just take some cat-cows. So remember the hands are underneath the shoulders, fingers wide. Push into those base knuckles, wrap the triceps. Have the knees underneath the hips. Pardon me. And with your inhale, open up the collarbone. As you look forward, drop the belly down towards the floor, but keep it engaged. And as you exhale, tuck the tail under first as you curve your spine up towards the sky. Inhale, tail first as you drop belly down towards the floor. Open up the collarbone, take the gaze forward. And then as you exhale, tuck the tail, round the spine. Gaze goes towards the knees, towards the back of the mat. Inhale. open up front side of the body. Exhale, close the front side of the body. Just one more, just a little bit of movement here. And come to neutral, tuck the toes under with your inhale, wrap the triceps, and with your exhale, lift the tail up into a very quick downward facing dog, just so that we can start to walk those feet forward, trying to keep those hands connected to the floor into your first forward fold. Inhale up to the flat back. Exhale, fold. Inhale to a standing position, arms reach, extend the spine nice and long. Hands meet at the top, down through heart center into mountain pose. Readjust the feet if you need. Second toes facing forward, hips facing forward, chest facing forward. Palms open, mountain pose. Inhale, scoop the arms up, reach up, get long. As you exhale, forward fold. See what you need to do with the legs to get the hands to the floor, tops of the head to the floor. Inhale up to the flat back, extend the spine. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale to a standing position. Ground through the feet, be strong, be sturdy. Hands down through heart center to mountain pose. Inhale, arms reach up, long spine. Exhale, fold forward. Inhale, flat back. Exhale, hands to the floor. Inhale the left foot back. We're going to go to warrior one. So have the foot flat. Adjust your train track if you need a wider stance. Keep the hips forward. Keep the front lunge. And inhale the torso up to a standing position. If you need to readjust those hips, you'd like to keep them facing forward. Try to avoid sinking into that back knee. Push into the outside edge of that foot. Do the best you can to keep that front lunge. Arms extend up, warrior one. And as you exhale, hands come down to the floor. Step back to your downward facing dog. Readjust both feet if you need. Get a length in the spine. If you need that bent knee, take it. But see what you can do to lengthen out. Take an inhale to baby step those feet forward again, drawing the belly muscles in. Inhale, flat back. Exhale, fold. Inhale to a standing position. Hands come down through heart center. Mountain pose. Readjust. With your next inhale, arms reach up. Dive forward in your forward fold. Exhaling. Inhale, flat back. Exhale, fold. Hands to the floor. Inhale, right leg back to warrior one position. Heel down, foot angled to what you need it to do to keep those hips facing forward. When you're ready, inhale. Torso comes up, readjust the hips if you need, and then extend the arms when you're ready. Take an inhale here, and as you exhale, dive forward, lift the back heel, step back into your downward facing dog, and take a break. Now, do you need to take a break in tabletop? Maybe you need a child's pose, or maybe you can rest in downward facing dog. Again, downward facing dog, lengthen the spine first, and then work on the heels down towards the floor. Finish your exhale, and with your inhale, baby step once again to your forward fold. Inhale, flat back. Exhale, fold. Inhale to a standing position, this time right back down into your forward fold. Exhaling. Inhale, flat back, working on those hamstrings. Exhale, hands to the floor. Inhale, left foot back, warrior one. Inhale, torso and arms reach up towards the sky. And this time as you exhale, just take the arms out wide and fan them to the back as you hinge from your hip. Think runner's lunge. Keep that lunge position as best as you can. Inhale, lift the torso, have the shoulders up over the hips. Inhale, arms reach. And as you exhale, one more time, fan back. Ground into your feet. Keep those hips nice and parallel as best as you can. Inhale one more time, up to warrior one. Exhale, fan. One more lift as you inhale, warrior one. And this time as you exhale, hands to the floor. Step back to downward facing dog. Make the adjustments. Notice if you need a break in child's pose. Maybe tabletop. Or can you find your rest in your downward facing dog? Maybe making slight adjustments. Maybe giving a little wag of your tail. How is the breath? Finish your exhale with your inhale. Again, baby step. Work on drawing the belly muscles up towards the sky here so that you can create a little bit more space to bring those feet a little closer to your hands. Inhale, flat back. Long spine here. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, standing position. And right back down with your exhale. Forward fold. Inhale, flat back. Exhale, fingertips to the floor. Inhale, right leg back. We're going warrior one again. So adjust the feet to where you think you need to keep them, to hit the hips going forward. When you're ready, inhale. Arms and torso reach, warrior one. And again, we're going to fan. Watch here that the ribs aren't flaring out. See if you can keep those ribs tucked in. As you exhale, fan the arms. Hinge your body. Inhale to straighten out, ground into those feet. Watch those ribs. And as you exhale, fan forward. Twice more. Inhale, warrior one. Arms reach. And as you exhale, fan forward. Hinge from the hip. One more time. Inhale, arms reach. This time as you exhale, hands come down to the floor. Step back to your downward facing dog. And notice if you need a break here. Maybe you need to drop the knees. Have a little sip of water. Just take a breath or two. Just notice how your legs feel. Do they feel too tired? Would you be able to do the little flow again? And when you're ready, make your way back into downward facing dog. Let's get into it a little differently this time. From your downward facing dog, inhale the right leg up towards the sky. As you exhale, step it forward to your lunge, but this time drop the back foot so that you're in warrior one. So that might mean that you need to shorten your stance. Inhale up to your crescent lunge. As you exhale, fan forward. Inhale, warrior one. As you exhale, hands to the floor. Lift the back heel, step back to your downward facing dog. With your inhale, lift the left leg. And as you exhale, step it through. Remember, if you need some help, take the hand and bring it to your lunge position. Adjust the back heel so you're in warrior one. Inhale, arms and torso reach up towards the sky. As you exhale, fan forward, hinge from the hip. Inhale, warrior one. Exhale, hands to the floor. Step back to your downward facing dog. And just notice what you notice. How do the legs feel? How do the hips feel? Take 2 or 3 breaths here. maybe taking some movement, maybe noticing the difference from one side to your body to the other. How do the hips feel? How do the hamstrings feel? And then come back down to the knees. Maybe take the knees a little wider in your child's pose so that when you take a little movement side to side, you're getting into those hip creases. Maybe try to bring your head all the way down to the floor. If it doesn't make it all the way down to the floor, use your hands to support. Just release any tension that you may have created in those hip joints. Maybe you feel it in your torso a little bit more. How is the breath? And then lift the torso. Bring the knees together if they're wide, and swim those feet around to the front again. And that forward fold that we did at the beginning of our practice, we're going to revisit it and see if those hamstrings feel any different. So as I extend the legs long and they're flat on the floor, do I notice that I'm still as curved as I was before? To get that torso nice and long, do I have to bend? I might start with that bend, and once I'm here, notice that, maybe I can extend those legs a little longer. Do the legs feel any different? Can I get the spine nice and long? Can I still breathe? From here, if you need to soften the knees, it's not a problem. Take that inhale, and as you exhale, hinge forward. Notice what you notice. Maybe getting into those warrior ones, you notice your hips. You might notice the imbalances, you might notice the tightness, or you might notice that, those were kind of good. I kind of like warrior ones. Take an inhale to release a little bit, lift the torso, and then with your exhale, see if you can hinge a little bit further forward. Think of trying to get your collarbone down towards the toes, trying to keep a nice straight back. It's not going to be 100% straight, but we're just trying to avoid that huge curve. It doesn't matter how close your chest comes down towards your shins, thighs. One day, some of you will be able to get nice and flat. Obviously, I'm not quite there yet, but I'm still feeling this pull in the back of the legs. I'm feeling a nice gentle pull here at the low back. And I'm softening the shoulders. Take an inhale to lift the torso, release the legs, soften at the knees, and take those little movements once again, just like when we started. So this little sway side to side with your knees, you might notice that you would prefer to get into a little bit wider. Or maybe you might even notice, I'd like to take a little bit of rotation in the torso. Maybe that's going to make you feel a little bit nicer in the hips. It depends. Some days you feel like getting a little bit more. You might even go all the way, not all the way back, but really you increase that range in your torso. It's all about what my body needs at this moment. And then if I need to adjust the space that I'm in, I might come forward towards the front of my mat so that when I roll down, my torso is actually on the mat. And as I come back to the back, I'm going to draw the knees into the chest. And again, just a little bit of movement here if it feels good. I might notice a small little twist might feel good. That always feels better for me. You might be the type of person who likes stillness. And then as you bring your feet back down to the floor, notice if the bent knee version of Shavasana is more to your liking, or you can extend the legs long. And as you soften your hips, soften the legs, you might need a little wiggle jiggle side to side to be able to get that softness. Soften the shoulders. Soften your entire torso. Soften your neck, your head. And just continue breathing. We'll take 3 or 4 cycles of breath here, just to enjoy some stillness. Without moving just yet, deepen the breath. Sip in a little bit more with that inhale. Release it in your exhale. Invite those little movements into the toes, ankles, fingers, wrists. Gently wake up the body. If the legs are long, soften at the knees. Draw the knees gently in towards your chest. A gentle squeeze if it feels good. And then slowly make your way up into a sit position, taking your time getting there. And once you get there, noticing where you're going to be comfortable. Will you be able to sit in a cross-legged position? Somewhere that you can sit nice and tall. So a little bit of engagement, but not too much. You still want to keep those shoulders nice and soft. Choose where you'd like to keep your hands. And we'll just take a breath or two here just to see what we notice in the legs. With our very small, gentle little flow there, does it make a difference? Do we notice anything? Taking just a few minutes on our mat perhaps will help us carry on with the rest of our day. We know that our yoga practice does not have to be hours and hours and hours. Just taking that movement with your body should make you feel a little better. Together we'll take a nice deep inhale. Release in your exhale. If you're comfortable, bring your hands to prayer. And we'll finish our practice honoring the divine light within each and every one of us. Namaste. Thank you, everyone, for joining me. Today was a very gentle little flow, just to kind of get some movement going on. Sometimes we only have a few minutes, and I just wanted to offer you something a little bit shorter that you can still keep moving. So once again, do what you can. It doesn't have to be a huge amount of time. Small little increments is going to help you. So we'll see you next time. Bye.